live from El Salvador. Cannot wait for this buzzer to blow because this first heat is going to be a classic. C.Simmers versus Tatiana Weston-Webb. You've got all the things you want to see in a heat, right? You've got goofy versus regular. You've got a battle for the final five. You've got C.Simmers, who's probably out for a little bit of revenge from Tahiti. Tatiana Weston-Webb, a finalist in Tahiti. Something rolling through here, and it's going to be C.Simmers having a deep paddle. Here we go. We're on for quarterfinals day, starting with C.Simmers out of Oceanside, California. Riding a Chris Borst design surfboard. We're hung up on that second turn, but look at this zipper through the inside. C.Simmers finds a quick cover up, but goes down.
Held up for a free surf this morning. They were kind of waiting to see what the call was, and wasn't a bad wave. Good carve right there, more of a setup. She did bring it back a bit more in the back end of the maneuver. That's more of a setup right there, just down the line, and was looking for the barrel here on the inside. And, you know, despite Jack's opinion about these waves being super hollow, it has to be at a certain section, Chris. Look at the drone angle right here. A couple of carves on the outside, but to me, really the best barrels on this wave are all the way on the outside, where it's shallower.
Cool to tag yourself, ripping a wave or standing up in a tube, but why not tag yourself doing something good for the ocean as well? Here we go, Tatiana Weston-Webb. I mean, if you've been a surf fan over the past few years, you know how good Tatiana Weston-Webb is going right. She's got a switchblade for a backside snap. She's done a couple out the back. Nicely placed there on the inside, speeding down the line. This wave offering up some pretty good section.
Looking at the outside right here of Tati. Great pace as well, but I just really love the attack into the lip right there. More of a setup turn, much better right there on the second one, especially considering how low the tide's going to get in just a little bit. It's really difficult for the goofy footers to be able to maintain their speed on the backhand like we're seeing right here. Another great click, and then just reads this last section very well, straight up in vertical.
Tatiana Weston-Webb, and then we go back to the outside section where C.Simmers ripping into a couple turns on the outside, a little foamy on the face here, but sometimes these waves can double up through the inside, and if Katie gets a ramp section, you know she's going to take advantage of it. Bam! Solid finish there.
That was impressive.
That's the type of exchange we want to see in the morning. Let's wake up, surf fans. That was awesome.
Weston-Webb. This wave to me, though, was just outstanding. Really loved the opening carve. Great stuff right there by Katie. A bit of a larger wave, too. Good variation with the second turn, pushed a bit harder. And then right here, I felt like she had a decision to make. Commit to the big end section to fit in the 2-for-1. She got the 2-for-1, but still got a big crack right there at the end, too. Great stuff. There's only 40 points between Katie and Brisa right now, first and second, respectively.
See Tatiana Weston-Webb, who got a really good bird's eye view of Mama Roca right there. A couple options coming through. C.Simmers does have priority. We'll see if she wants to go on the first one. She does. So here we go. C.Simmers with 1:57 to go. Good combo to start. Beautiful arcing snap. Comes around this section. Another well-placed turn. Sliding the tail a little bit. You can tell right there she wanted to pull in. She went against her surf instincts and went up into the lip. Great decision there. C.Simmers.
Wow. It's going to cost her, and great use of priority by C.Simmers. Didn't want to expect a second wave of the set. Great carve to open things up. Once again in the pocket. Little out of control with the slide of the fin zone here. It seemed like her pacing was just a bit off in this mid part of the wave. But as I said before, recovers great and knew that she had to punctuate this wave with a big turn at the end, and she did. Definitely exploded Tati's wave right here. Big turn on the outside, Chris, and a much bullier wave in comparison to Katie. Great combo right there, so major points on offer and just a bit mistimed right there at the end.
The numbers don't lie. C.Simmers, commanding performance there with a 6.5 and a 7.33. She rips, and it shows. Big victory there.
Big bounce back.
Tatiana Weston-Webb with a 5.17 and a 4.93.
Yeah, Katie keeping her eyes glued to the ocean. Wanted a few of those earlier on in your heat, but you had some good little turns in there for breakfast. You had to free surf in your jersey. Tell me how that set you up for your heat.
Yeah, kind of woke up really early for this one. They started at 6:30, so I was like, yeah, just put on my jersey and tried to get some before my heat, and yeah, I don't know where those waves were in my heat, but I guess like sometimes it's like too much for the ocean to like send sets like consecutively, which is like, I feel like it's fair enough. Like a lot of things have to happen for there to be like a bunch of sets in 30 minutes, so yeah, kind of before when I was free surfing, there was like so many sets, it was like firing, kind of the same as my last heat. So I was like, I know it's good. At least I like knew it was gonna be a slow heat, because I feel like waves in general, there'll be like a bunch of sets and then it'll be flat. So yeah, our heat was definitely flat. I was like, there was barely even like those medium sets, and I like kind of wanted to like just get it going with like a small wave, and there wasn't even like much small waves to get, so it was pretty, I don't know, it's so hard sometimes, but yeah, it was a fun heat. I'm glad I got some waves. So.
I was going to say, you managed all of that pretty well, because you got your first wave right around 23 minutes. That ended up being the one you threw away. But then you finished off with some medium scores, the 6.5, the 7.33. So how did you figure things out in the back half of that heat to find the scores you needed?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what score I got on my last wave. Yeah, I mean, you kind of just have to, like, take the opportunities when you have a slow heat. Like, and I kind of got a little bit in the rhythm of the waves, so that kind of went in my favor, and that's always a good thing to have in your favor, because you can like go out there with a plan and it could completely deteriorate if the waves don't kind of back up your plan. So I guess it all worked out for me.
And it continues to work out. Your first semifinal appearance since Bells. What do you take from this quarterfinal into the semis?
Yeah, it feels like really good to be in the semi. Yeah, I was pretty bummed after the last comp. That was like probably my hardest loss, and like Sawyer got me. She's been getting me since I was like 12 years old, so it was a tough one. But yeah, I mean, Sawyer ripped. She got a crazy wave, and watching that event was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Like, I was just in oceanside surfing like 1 foot waves, and just watching those girls get stand-up barrels, it was like really amazing. And Tati was like mind-blowing, like seriously mind-blowing. But yeah, so coming here, it's kind of the opposite type of wave, so it's closer to oceanside than Chopu, so yeah, I guess I had the upper hand on that one. I don't know.
The upper hand indeed. We'll see you in the semis.
Yeah, thank you.